Alright, man, we had a hell of a UFC fight yesterday. Let's talk about it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Stipe beat Francis Ngannou the first fight. And basically Ngannou came back with some improvement. Came back with better wrestling. You hear the commentators saying, oh, he shouldn't be going to the ground. He shouldn't be wrestling. But, kicks was better. Hit him with the low kick. And I think the biggest thing between the first fight and this fight was maturity. What comes with maturity is patience, calmness. And he was more calm and patient. All right, they was calling Stipe the greatest heavyweight UFC history. And of course, he won his belt. He lost his belt. He won his belt back. And the UFC still got a young history, but, he just couldn't deal with this dude raw athleticism plus skill level, and that was the difference. But check out the MMA playlist. Best way to support the channel, share the video, thumbs up the video. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, but that's the biggest thing was, this dude worked hard, Francis. He was more patient, and he wasn't as anxious. He was calm. And usually all those come with a certain amount of maturity. When you patient, calm, you just you know what's gonna happen, you know what to expect. And then also he worked on his ground game. Like he worked on his kicks too. So when you put the raw athleticism, the strength, he all weighed about 30 pounds maybe. Put that athleticism with the strength, with the size. And then you add, more wrestling, more skill level, more pace. You add all that, he gonna be hard to get out of there. You look at the fight, and Miocic, he landed 5 of 5 shots, I think, in the first round. But Francis was just, when he landed, just, had his face messed up. When he landed, it was just like, ugh. Just different impacts. Miocic landed, you like, okay, it scored. Francis landed, it's like, man, good God, is he gonna be all right? And when he took him to the ground on the cage, I knew Miocic, dude, he didn't have a chance. He didn't have a chance. And then the dude with the low kick, then you get to the second round. It didn't last long. He kept switching from orthodox to southpaw. I think that's common in UFC. And he jumped in with a 1-2. And what's so crazy about it, he came from the southpaw position, meaning his right hand is lead. Orthodox is mean left hand is the lead. But he came through. His jab, that jab didn't really land. It didn't like it split the guard. Maybe it did land. He extended it, and then with the left hand, he carried power in both hands. For him to get that leverage with the left hand, threw Stipe to the cage. Stipe got up. He landed a shot, and then Ngannou landed some few shots, and the short left hook did it. But the 1-2, the left hand started the trouble. The short left hook from the orthodox position. All she wrote, man. And Ngannou is a great fighter. Stipe is a great fighter. He can come back. But I think now that this kid has learned better wrestling and had more maturity, patience, and he can kick too, and he can punch too, I think he's going to be a hard guy to get out. Absolutely the hard guy to get out. And John Jones made some tweets. I'm going, show me the money. People took that as ducking. Somebody said going back down to 85. He said he put this much weight on for no reason. He a good 240, so that's gonna be a tough fight. And Ngannou got wrestling, he got explosiveness, he got athleticism. He carried 260. But I do think John Jones had a hunch that Ngannou was gonna win this fight. Cause why he going up to 240? Stipe was 230 something, but he was at what, 245? John Jones, something like that, 246. So I think he had a clue that he was going up there, and as long as he touched clean, I think that he beat Francis Ngannou. Maybe he didn't fight Stipe or somebody else again. He gonna solidify himself as the greatest MMA fighter. Cause he undefeated without the pads. He got a lot of fighters like Weidman who was on the pads. Then his record starting to slide off after he was tested. So Francis Ngannou is John Jones is the fighter of the year. No doubt in my mind. I'm a huge boxing guy, still learning MMA, but that's the biggest fight that's going to... Boxing don't make great fights no more. That's the best fight that the UFC can make, to my knowledge, man. So, without Conor and Khabib, Khabib retiring, Conor lose, this is probably one of the better fights, the best fights you're going to get. You might not get nobody hopping out the cage, giving people hands in the stands. That was the greatest sport event that I can remember, but you're going to get a lot of explosiveness in the ring, and you're going to get a lot of, John Jones could wrestle. John Jones got technique. John Jones put his shoulder back in place. It's going to be a nasty fight. Ain't going to be no pandering. Dana White going to get the job done. Get the fight done. But hey, let me know what you guys think. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. All my social media links in the description. Fast forward reach me is Twitter, then Facebook, then Instagram. Facebook group link in the description as well too. You want to make a financial donation, Cash App CJ Good 313. That's in the description. PayPal link there as well too. Best way to donate. Share the video. Appreciate the love, support. Peace.